What a major, major news day. I have so much to tell you about, and I'm glad you're with me today. So much happening over the weekend. Remember, let's start with elector news. Last week, I told you about Republican Texas elector Christopher Saprun, who has decided to vote for someone other than Donald Trump. Of course, Donald Trump winning Texas, the default, the expectation is that Christopher Saprun would be casting an electoral vote for Donald Trump a week from today on December 19th. But he said, no, I am not going to do that, and that his conscience does not allow him to cast a vote for Donald Trump. That much we knew. The news is exactly as I've been telling you for 2 weeks, based on what a source of mine told me 2 weeks ago, exactly as I was told by a second source, a successful Democratic operative. The news from Christopher Saprun, based on an interview he gave over the last few days, is that there are more Republican electors planning to do the exact same thing, not to vote for Donald Trump on December 19th. They have not gone public. Of course, they have no requirement to go public in order to go against their state on December 19th. Saprun saying, quote, "At this point, there are people who have reached out to me. Again, it wouldn't be my place to name who they are. I am confident in saying at this point, I don't think I will be the only one voting for someone other than Donald Trump who is carrying a Republican elector seat." Now, who will these electors vote for? It's not clear. Last week, we had thrown around the idea of Ohio Governor John Kasich, but he has said, not interested, don't vote for me. Saprun going on to say, as electors come forward, and I have had conversations with other Republican electors in particular, I think we will start discussing names specifically and see who meets the test that we could all get behind. Now, here is where it really starts to get bonkers, which is that I came to you telling you that my source said 2 weeks ago that there are about 15 of these rogue Trump electors that will not be voting for Donald Trump on December 19th. We've now learned specifically about one, Christopher Saprun, and we've had the idea that there are numerous corroborated, not only by Saprun, but also by this other well-placed Democratic source that I have. In speaking to this source over the weekend, it was revealed that number one, that number of 15 that I told you about 2 weeks ago, that has shifted to 2021. Okay, that is number one. That in and of itself is huge. Although, again, 36 plus, something in addition to 36, would need to move away from Donald Trump to deny him the 270 electoral votes that he needs. Currently 306 for Trump, really 305, because we specifically know about Christopher Saprun. Here is the incredible thing. I was also told that individuals believed to be with the Republican National Committee approached some of these rogue Republican electors, encouraging them specifically to not just not vote Trump, but to say, if you're not voting Trump, cast your vote for former Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney, known to us as Willard Mittens Romney, as you know. This is absolutely incredible. And what's amazing about it is we saw during the lead up to the election huge aggressive critiques of Donald Trump, critiques not only including personal criticisms, but also involving policy and idea criticisms from Mitt Romney. And what we are being told here, Pat, is truly stunning, particularly when you consider that former RNC chief Reince Priebus, or I think currently he still is until he officially starts working for Trump, will be Donald Trump's chief of staff. It is stunning what is going on within the Republican elector world right now.
Yeah, and it seems like that number is getting closer and closer to the 37 that they would need to block Trump.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't even realize that the election really hasn't happened yet until the electors convene on the first Monday after the second Wednesday in December. It's very sketchy.
No doubt about it. Michael Moore has said, hey, it's not over till it's over. The actual election of Donald Trump hasn't yet happened. Christopher Saprun, in this interview he gave, also saying that he started receiving threats from people when he announced that he would not indeed be voting for Donald Trump. And I hate to break it to you. People email me. They say, David, what these electors are considering doing is a travesty. They are ignoring what is their duty. I hate to break it to you, but Hamilton and other framers made it very clear that electors must apply their conscience to the state votes to determine who to ultimately vote for on that, what'd you say, first Monday after the second Wednesday type of thing?
It had to be written that way, didn't it?
Something like that. And the anti-mandate is building. We have over 2 million more votes for Hillary Clinton than for Donald Trump. We have insanely sketchy situations involving, number one, exit poll versus election data. And thirdly, we also have the Russian element now, which we will talk about a little bit later in the show. The biggest anti-mandate in as long as I can remember. And this is strengthening the justification to Republican electors for not voting for Donald Trump. And the latest news, just to put the cherry on top, 10 members of the Electoral College, as reported by Politico just hours ago, including Nancy Pelosi's daughter, Christine, and a former member of Congress, are demanding a briefing from U.S. intelligence officials on what's happening involving this investigation into Trump's ties to Russia. We'll talk more about that later, but it's abundantly clear, Pat, that there are Democratic and Republican electors who want more information before they cast those ballots a week from today.
The popular vote has completely been undermined in 2 of the last 5 elections. That's what should be doing it.
That is a concern for many people, but it's almost like there's an embarrassment of riches in terms of where you want to focus on the just total bankruptcy of what we have here in an incoming President Donald Trump administration.